So the first thing I worked on was this piece here. I think the lenses are a little. Y'all, this live is what my life feels like right now. Technical difficulty after technical difficulty. All right. Hopefully now I can just paint. This one's drying down. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm not gonna do much else. If I feel called to write something, I'm gonna ink it in a little bit. I'm working on another one now. If this is not what I was talking about before the first session got sideswiped by Wi-Fi issues, this is the whole thing. I could be upset that my session got split into a million videos, or I can just pick back up. That is that is the most important thing in this life. How quickly can you pivot and recenter? It's like, all right, so Wi-Fi issues. Now I get to start with a fresh slate. And this is an opportunity also to try a different brush. So I'm doing a few things right now. I'm trying new paints, not new paints, but I don't typically use these ones, the Kuretake, so I'm using these. I'm also just kind of exploring other brushes just to see how I like them. What I've found in my experience is that the brushes you think you would like the most, like, for example, the expensive ones, are the ones I've least used. And so I bought a few random $2 brushes at Art Supply Warehouse. And now I'm trying them. So this gives me an opportunity to play around, no pressure. I feel called again to do a desert scape. And I'm going to go a little bolder. Ooh. Jesse, thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm back. At first, this is you know what? I'm gonna share it. This is this is the human condition of spirals. At first, when I saw the black screen, my assumption was, "Oh, great. The new lamp light thingamajig that I just bought to make my life easier is broken and it's too much. I think the light is too hot. My phone is too hot. So um the heat is making my life go haywire." That's where my head went. And then I went to, "Man, what the fuck? I just spent a lot of money. Blah 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 blah. How am I gonna what was the point of this?" That's the point, right? If that were the case, then that's the case. What am I gonna do? And then it turned out, no, it wasn't that. It's just but I share this because it's like the way that we spiral quickly. It's a progress and it is endless. Heal. There's always something to remember. It's not about the world's not out to get us. There's always something to teach us. And for whatever reason, Source said, we're gonna stop this. If I had kept going, maybe I would not have created this arch. Who knows why it had to pause. But I'm back in. Thank you for being here, Jesse. Another reminder, my internet connection is unstable. It's to make us stronger, hell yeah. Building the muscle. It's like, all right, this is gonna come up again, so how am I gonna take care of it next time? That's what I'm taking away from this. I haven't been to Arches National Park yet, and I feel like this is what this is channeling. I think when the connection got interrupted, I was maybe sharing about black paint, or maybe I already had said something about that, but I love using black in my work. It's if you're going for, like, naturalism, okay, sure, maybe it's a little too stark. It can neutralize more subtle variations and stuff, but I I'm allergic to people saying things have to be done a certain way. I'm in full support of everyone finding what works for them. So if you like black, if you like how it looks, don't let someone else's voice tell you that you can't use it. And that's what I gotta say about the color black and watercolor. Do I have a favorite song at the moment? Jackie. Who's Jackie? Jackie sounds familiar, but I'm drawing a blank. Was this the was this who we were talking about yesterday? Like, is this Santa Ana? Jack. Oh my gosh. R This on repeat. It's like my jam. Zimbabwe by Ife Ogunjobi. I love, I love horn instruments. I love a good trumpet, especially when they're just, like, singing on it with deep soul, and I highly recommend that song. I've included in some of my posts. I just discovered that artist randomly. Ooh, look at that. See, this is the wild shit. If you take a chance, the paints just surprise the fuck out of you. And then I'm like, "What? I love it." It's probably my favorite thing about, um, watercolor paints. The unpredictable nature of it just constantly gives you great, beautiful surprises. But if you're busy trying to control it because 'cause you're trying to make a perfect rock, no wonder you're stressed. I didn't like that, took it out with the towel. But I left some of it, and to me, that feels like a mountain-ish thing in the distance, so I'll leave it alone. Mhm, mhm. What's his, it's his restaurant name because they always hear Chatter Jackie, oh, Jackie. Also, speaking of trumpets, our friend loves a steel drum, so he has his own playlist full of random steel drums. Nice. I do love steel drums as well. I like higher toned things, if that makes sense. I'm still learning musical terms. Like on the piano, I don't like the heavier keys. I like when it's lighter and airier. I like singing in airier tones, wind and brass instruments. I don't know what I called the trumpet earlier, but I meant brass. If I didn't say brass, that's what I meant. And in general, like, there's gotta be some bump. There's gotta be some bass, some bump and beats. That's the New York in me, that's the Korean in me, and the Puerto Rican. We love some we love bumping. I also love very quiet moments too. I got real eclectic taste. I didn't expect much from this one. I'm really fucking with it, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let it dry before I return to it. Or this was gonna be a cloud, so I'm gonna try. This is me having courage. Let's see what I can do here. If you're having a moment where you're not sure, just go slow. I'm not sure if this is gonna fully work, but I already laid something down, so I gotta go. Do y'all have a favorite song right now? Or a like a like an artist that you're just kinda really jamming to right now? Do I ever get rid of paintings when I'm not feeling it? I have a really hard policy against throwing anything out. I think that's a great question. I don't I don't throw anything out. Um, I really live by this idea that if I were to die today, every single thing that I've made, someone's gonna put value on it, even, like, the random little doodles and bullshit, and so with that in mind, I give myself the flowers now. It's like, not everything is great, and that's okay, but everything like, as an artist yourself, to the artists out there who come across this later, it's like, what it takes for us to sit down and fucking do the thing, I'm not throwing shit out. Like, Imma honor it. In fact, like, I was just cleaning my studio up yesterday, and I came across some really an older piece from 2023. It was meant to be kind of a study, but, I got in my head and I started judging myself before I could even just make it a study, and I just came across and the thing I do with paintings that I'm not crazy about, I will sometimes just write on it, "It's okay to fail," and then suddenly it transforms into something important. And the other thing is there's paintings that I have not enjoyed, but then you really give it some time, and either you see where you wanna take it next and it's not done, or you just learn. You learn what you don't wanna do again, which actually, I think that's something important to bring up. I I lost it. The music distracted me. What was I just saying? Oh, I kind of had the I honestly, Jesse, to answer more directly, like, I'm remembering just in terms of my approach, I've come to think that if I don't like a piece, it's because it's not done. That's all. I think those are my final thoughts on it. If I don't like it, it's just not done. And it may not be what I initially intended anymore, but there's always an angle. There's always a way to transform it. Usually those are the paintings that I then swing for the fences, and I'm like, "Well, it's already fucked. Let's do something bold." And then I learn something, and then usually my favorite paintings. And I actually have a bunch of main paintings that started out as paintings I hated, and then I used that opportunity to just swing for the fences. I was like, "Alright, well, what is something I've been wanting to try? This will be the one to do it on if I don't love it anymore." I feel like I'm gonna constantly come back to this notion of grace. Like, for example, I'm not in love with this cloud, so it just keeps growing as I'm trying to fall in love with it. I'm trying to find my way to something that feels like, "Okay, I could live with this." And in the process, I'm learning how I wanna render clouds. Like, this is fun. Look at that. This is me in real time. I'm like, "Okay, don't love it." Now I'm trying things. I'm giving myself permission to stretch. This is literally a perfect example of, like, I don't love what's happening, but I threw more pigment down, it dry brushed into this, I don't wanna touch it. I would kinda love it, so I'm switching to a thicker brush to just blend out the bottom, keep that soft, and I can live with this, and I learned some things, and I'm learning to just leave it alone, that's enough, it's good. If I keep going, I'm gonna get more upset, and that's what grace is. Imma let it dry and see what I feel. That's really beautiful to write over it. I mostly just understand that this is just a ball of clay that can be turned into something else. Change it up like paper artwork. I mean, I don't know how clay fully works yet, Jesse, but I imagine if it, like if it does kinda turn out not so great, maybe it is still an opportunity to try something else, like adding something onto it, or I don't know how that works, like, in terms of, like, if you can make that happen, but I always just encourage people, like, go for it. If it gets fucked up, add more clay, add more pigment, add more lines, do whatever. Maybe there's something to discover there and something that you'll end up contributing to the medium as an artist. Which I love the idea of society. Ooh, thank you for that. Thank you for that observation. I did not see that, and I see it. The mirroring of the cloud and the arch. And then what did Jack say? Favorite songs this year. Summertime by Elvin Jones. Here, I'm gonna give this track a listen since I'm still listening to Zimbabwe. I don't know about y'all, but I am absolutely one of those people who listens to a song on repeat. I can listen to a song like 100 times in a row. I used to have people make fun of me or criticize me, and now I don't give a fuck. Y'all know who you are. Fuck you. I'm gonna listen to this as many times as I want. Okay, we're listening to Summertime by Elvin Jones. Ooh, already I love the cover. And also ooh, 11 minutes, 34 seconds. We're going on a journey. Thank you, Jack. Here, okay. So we're gonna zoom out. What do we got going here? I got these two going. Again, the reason these two are happening right now is because I've had a rough week, um, physically. Mentally and spiritually, it's been a wonderful week. It's been a wonderful few months, but I'm hurting. My body's hurting. So I was going to finish my commission, that I've been working on, which I can share. This one. I was working on this last session. I'm still thinking about a title for it. Um, but because I have been hurting, I don't want to push myself, and I want to make sure that I give the commissions like as much love as possible. So instead, I chose grace, and I was like, let me just do something simple, and that's why we're here right now. It is 7:13. I'm gonna probably work for another 20 minutes, take a break, and then do a last hour. Depending on how I feel at the end of this, I will maybe work on the commission or work on some other small pieces. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. And this one I'm gonna try doing some ink work on it. Let's see. I can't tell what instrument this is, the strings, but that's funky. It's a little eerie, like the I don't even know what I'm not even gonna attempt to identify. But Jack, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if that's like it could literally be anything. Inking is my favorite part. It's also my roots. It's where I started as an artist. The joy of like combining my past with my present is using the ink to define loosely and sometimes with precision just what I see. Okay, I was gonna say bass, but I was like, I don't know. But okay, it feels like a giant. That's what I imagined in my head, Jack. A standing, like a giant bass with someone just plucking away. I was just noticing the drums coming in. It's full of life. Often it honestly just feels like I'm carving. Do you ever challenge yourself when you feel like you can't do it? Um, what specifically? Like, you want to take the journey to try something out of your comfort zone, but but your physical being is not aligned to the scariness or worrisome. Like, honestly, all of this is scary. It's kind of like I talk about this often these days, but it's like cold plunge. I just have done it now enough times, like, I've challenged myself enough times to just jump into the water immediately that I know the anxiety subsides in 15 seconds. Like, when before I started any of this, it was just like this it wasn't even I wasn't even sure it was the sky. I assumed it was the sky, and my go-to is to just chill out and do desert scapes, but I don't know every time, and it is scary, and so for me, it's honestly, like, every single time I'm just, like, trusting myself to figure it out, and that's what I often try to, like, tell people, "Trust yourself." There's, like, 100 times, even 1,000 moments in our lives where we absolutely survived the moment that we thought was gonna be too difficult or, you know, you guys shared your sketchbooks yesterday, and it's like, you've done it too. Each time you sit down, it could be scary, but I've just I honor that, and I know that I'll get to the other side of it, but I gotta put a line down or I gotta put a color down in order to get to the other side. I don't know if that's, like, answering the question. I also am curious, like, what do y'all do when the fear comes up? And for Jesse in particular, with clay, I'm curious, like, what is that experience like working in a 3D medium? Right now, I'm kinda just looking it over. I'm just like, do I want to add I I feel like I feel like it's done. Sometimes you just stop where you gotta stop. And sometimes this is something that I need to see again, and that's the art. Before it was like a cute vista, now it's saying something. And it's like you can make something wonderful and no one likes it. And you can make something that you don't like and everyone loves. And so at the end of the day, I don't even care anymore. All I know is that doing it was the most important part. But honestly, I kind of fuck with this. That one's done. Next. Hello. Hello, Arch, my old friend, the Arch. And then let's see. Jesse says, I'm the same way. However, with clay, sometimes I persist and things are just not aligning. It can be very alarming to just feel like, yeah, today's not the day. But there are some days where the alignment isn't there and it does work out. Totally. Yeah, I'm right here with you. That's why, yeah. So, like, when you ask that question, it's like, we're all doing it already. It's just like when we're seeing someone else do it, it feels different, but it's really just us discovering our own ways of giving ourselves grace and leaning in. I think leaning in is a good way to to it's a good perspective to have. It's like choosing to lean in, whatever that means. It's like you could lean in and let it go, or you could lean in and try a little more. I've learned that the more push, yeah, I might like it when it's done, but was it worth it? As opposed to just honestly walking away and just fucking playing a game, literally just laying down with my cats, doing nothing, or just, spending time with my partner, mm, going for a walk, all the things, instead of just like pushing myself. Sometimes I I'm still learning how to just trust the misalignment as alignment, if that makes sense. This one, I'm trying to see here. I don't want focus to be the sky and the clouds. I had this instinct to just start drawing, like lining the cloud, and then I was like, no, 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 no. Give yourself a moment to really look at the image and work with it. I'm gonna give y'all a little life hack, a little art hack. So over here, I'm gonna start ink makeshift sun behind the cloud, which I love. I love this. This is a perfect example again of like in real time I was talking through not loving the cloud when it was like traveling down this way. I wasn't liking the shape below and blah blah blah. And then it's like actually when I traveled upward, I started enjoying the process. I started seeing little pockets where there was texture and light coming through, and I appreciated it, so I kept pushing. And then over here, I was pushing, and then I was, like, not liking it again. So I had a moment where I could just fall back or just throw something out there, and I chose to dig in the paint and, like, just glob it on, and this is my favorite part. But, oh, the back to the art hack. So there's the sun coming through. So over here, I got all these rocks and shit. If I wanna create, like, a little rim light where, like, there's, like, this is backlit, I'm gonna not draw the line right on it to copy it. I'm gonna give it, like, an edge so that it looks like it's lit up. It's like I coulda just lined it, but that little edge light, it just adds. And then now here, I gotta decide which way this arch is going, if it's, like, a line here or a line there. I'm gonna go with what I'm seeing, so this is reminding me of the Beetlejuice painting I just did that had the arch as well. I like these arches, I feel like they're, like, kinda like portal energy. Ooh, that's awesome. The little light coming through, little crevices. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Wait, what? What does that mean? Some people put their clay like this arch to dry. Not sure if it's a hack to have it dry faster, but always looks cool. Like clay that they haven't turned into something yet, or they create like a. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Arches are cool. Also, look at that. There might be two arches. What? That's fun. A bunch of little arches. Everyone just drawing clay. I love drawing flowers. And not just any flowers, but these little classic whatever the fucks. Like a circle and some petals. Hmm. For this one, I don't often do little references and stuff, but I'm gonna Google desert plants. I feel like I wanna put some kind of plant, maybe up here and here, but I'm gonna do some R&D. Normally I do saguaros, but I'm not fully called to that right now. What I am called to is adding another flower. Ooh. I haven't rendered many like flat cacti, like with the big petals. Hmm. Mm. I think I'm called to do ponytail palms. I have not rendered that one yet. I don't know if y'all know that one. I have a ponytail palm in my studio. It's doing okay, but I feel like it still hasn't reached its potential. But this is what it looks like. This is what I'm hoping it one day gets to. I'm feeling called to one of these. They're so funky. Also, shout out to your plants in your home, y'all. That was really cool. Hell yeah. Very Dr. Seuss. I'm here for it. Before I had some flowers there, it's like, whatever. Also, I don't think I'm gonna paint these. It's like, it's giving freedom. Like, whatever. I don't care. See, and look what that gave me permission to do, further scratching. There's always more ways to free myself. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so this is a perfect example of, like, that helped set me free, and then I'm like, I want one more ponytail palm, and I want it to be interfering with the sunlight. I think that's dope. It's like somewhere in the desert, there's an arch, and at that arch are some ponytail palms that just blew in the wind, planted, rooted, and started growing. Do I know the Dr. Seuss Zench's Star Bellies? No. I really love Dr. Seuss. Seuss? I forget. It doesn't it isn't it actually like Seuss or something? But I do love Dr. Seuss. I do not know that though. I'm gonna have to look that up. And they're blowing in the wind. Also, I didn't plan for it to be right behind the sun, but I love it. Like the way it just got backlit. Clearly, it wanted to grow right there. Hmm. Ooh, yeah, I love it. This is again back to I work on it until I like it. No, correction. I work on it till I love it, and then I leave it alone. This one's also done. Oh no. And look at that. Sometimes the paper rips up, and that's part of it now. Okay. Yes, look it up. I love that story. It's about these zenches that have star bellies and ones that don't. Oh, that's actually the star belly is activating memories. I'll check it out for sure. But the ending is wholesome. I love a wholesome ending. We need wholesome endings right now. Also, I don't know why, but I want the tree that's on the arch to have a crack branch. Crack branch. I'm not sure I like a branch that like an extension? I can't describe it. That's okay. Don't listen to me. I if I could register it, is it like here? This is what I've been kinda called to, is like a little offshoot. I don't know if that's what you were thinking, but this is where my brain went, and I was feeling called to it. And that's the thing, it's like, okay, I said it was finished, and then I add a thing, and it's like, whatever, there's no wrong marks. As long as I'm having fun, we're chill. I f Sometimes when I'm drawing things like this, it feels like I'm drawing, like, a wireframe of the spirit of a thing. Okay. It's almost 8. No, not what I was thinking, but I love this more. I love these little offshoots. The bebbies. Um, alright, I'm gonna go breather, make some tea. I feel like I'm not sure what I wanna work on, so I'm gonna take that moment and give myself some space to consider. So I'm gonna end this one here. Thank y'all for being here. If you wanna come through again, I'll be starting a new live. I wish there was a simpler way to do this, but I don't wanna have a bunch of empty space in between sessions, and I'm trying to make them a little bit more manageable instead of, like, 3-hour epics. But I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, you come through in about 10 minutes. Um, alright. Peace.